Namaste. I, Dr. Juhi Singh, Assistant Professor at Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University, Jaipur, Department of Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences. Today's our topic is new strategy for evaluating natural products. New strategies for evaluating the natural products. The fundamental problems for the chemist working on natural products used to be that of the choosing which pharmacological principle and method to use to understand the possible biological uses of any given drugs or any given substance. The RICB, the full form of RICB is RICI de-interaction, biological and chemical biological interaction network, have come up with lot of objectives of helping the chemist as described. The RICB help chemists by providing assistance from the biologists who use their knowledge and sophisticated method of observation for pharmacological activity of any given substances rather than the current classical procedure of observing an overall pharmacological effects. Example, measurement of femoral artery blood flow in the dog. It is now possible to observe the effect of the substances on any one of the underlying components of all of the overall peripheral pharmacological effect. Binding to the alpha or beta adrenergic receptors or to angiotensins or vasopressin receptor or the effect of posterior pituitary vasopressin. The RICB aids biologists by providing new tools for examining receptors, neurotransmitters or neuromediators, ion channels and membrane coupling mechanism. It can thus be said that thanks to derivatives of yohimine known as indoleucolides from the Rubiaceae and Apocynaceae family, the alpha-1 and 2 subtype of adrenergic receptor were distinguished. Likewise, foxcolin, labdane diterpene enabled process to be made in understanding the adenylate cyclase system, morphine, albane, and tetrodotoxin is an example of biological agent derived from the chemistry of natural material. Biologists can also make use of the chemist's extra skills in resolving certain problems at the frontier of the biology, such as extraction, labeling, and molecular modeling. In general, the RICB has also provided a discussion forum for a collaboration between the two disciplines that are relatively unfamiliar with each other and for developing a new strategies in the evaluation of natural and synthetic substances. By using the different animal models, the phytopharmaceutical potentials of different plant species, including Neulumbo nucifera and Lucas lavendulifolia have been reported. So our next step, that is all about the topic. Next is error in screening procedure. Error in screening procedure. Any screening procedure has characteristic error rate. It is inevitable because in high throughput screening it is necessary to compromise with some accuracy or precision to achieve the requisite speed. Thus, when a large number of compounds are carried through a particular screen, some of the compounds are classified incorrectly. A screen may be used in an absolute sense, so that the compound that passes a certain criteria are termed positive, whereas those that fail to meet the criterion are termed negative. Compounds that pass but should have failed a false positive. In general, false positive are tolerable if they are not too numerous because they will be rectified later. Compounds that fail but should have passed are false negative. False negative are lost forever if the failure eliminates them from the further testing. All screening procedures are based on the assumption of analogy. They have different degree of relevance and or predictability. Studies in phase 2 clinical trial predict the result with high probability in large clinical trial. But even here there is the possibility of false positive or false negative result. The relevance of the test is much less in the early pharmacological test, such as used in the high throughput screening. Generally, the relevance is inversely proportional to the simplicity of the test. In any case, one is confronted with the problem of false positive result type 1 error and false negative result type 2 error. In each step, two sources of error for false result have to be taken into account. Alpha is the error of the first type due to the model, and A is the error of the first type due to the model, and alpha is the error of the first type due to statistics. In the error of the first type, the compound is considered to be active but is actually inactive. This type of error is clarified during the further development after negative clinical trial, at least at the latest. However, there are two sources of error for the false negative result. Like B is B for the error of the second type due to the model, and beta is the error of the second type due to the statistics. In the error of the second type, a compound is to consider in the ineffective but is actually effective. This type of error will never be clarified. An effective drug has been missed. Perhaps other investigator will test this compound under different aspects. The statistical error derives from the fact that a pharmacological test is performed only the several times and or in the limited number of the animals. One can specify the probability that the decision is made incorrect. That is, a drug candidate is erroneously identified as ineffective or effective when it is actually ineffective. Usually this risk is set to be 5% and is called a statistical error of the first type or type 1 error. The error of the second type or second error is connected to the type 1 error by statistical rules. Usually screening is performed sequentially. Tests in high throughput screening are followed by test is isolated organ, then in the small animal, and special test is in higher animal until the compound is recommended by further development or studies in human beings. From each step, not only error of type 1 but also from the type 2 error arises. As consequences, many effective compounds are lost. There are two ways of circumvent these obstacles, like to increase the number of compounds entering the screening procedure, dramatically hope for a reasonable number of true positive and accept a high rate of false negative result as follows. In the ultra high throughput screening. And next is to put the test to with a high relevance, meaning tests with a high predictive value in whole animal at an early stages. All this literature on a high throughput screening includes some publications like dealing with the false negative result. Other literature like author Zhang in 1999 to 2000 studies the role of false negative result in high throughput screening procedure. They presented a statistical model system that predicts the reliability of hit from the primary test as affected by the error in the assay and the choice of hit threshold. The hit confirmation result as well as the false positive represent substances that initially falls above the hit limited but whose true activity is below the hit limited, and false negative representing substances that initially fall below the hit limited but those whose true activity is in fact greater than the hit limited. Rates have been analyzed by the computational simulation. The Z factor and the Zi factor were introduced to characterize the reliability of high throughput analysis or high throughput assay. The problem of type 2 error, that is false negative, also exists in many other physiological and pharmacological studies. For example, author Howard and Pollard re-investigated the staircase test, a well-accepted primary screening method of anxiolytic, and found several false negative results for clinically active anxiolytes. Right. So next our topic is screening method for analgesic agents. Centrally active analgesics. For centrally active analgesic, we use the hot plate method. The paw of the mice and rat are very sensitive to the heat even at the temperature which do not damage the skin. They respond by jumping, withdraw their paws and licking their paws. The time until the response occur can be prolonged after administration of the central active analgesics, whereas peripheral analgesics of acetyl salicylic acid are phenylacetic acid type do not generally affect their responses. The hot plate consists of an electrically heated surface. The temperature is controlled for 55 to 56 degrees Celsius. Adult albino rat are used for the test. The animal are placed on hot plate and time until either licking or jumping occur is recorded by the stopwatch. The delay in response is recorded after administration of a standard or test compound. That's it. And the next test is Hafner-Tail clip method. Hafner-Tail's clip method. It is the method the raised tail phenomena in the mice is observed. 6 mice per group are used. A clip is applied to the base of the tail of the mice and the reaction time is noted. The test compound is administered orally to the fasted animal and the animal quickly responds to stimuli by biting the clip or tail near the location of the clip. The time between the stimulation of the onset and the response is measured by the stopwatch. Then the tail immersion test. This method is based on observation that is morphine-like drugs are selectively capable of the prolonging the reason time by the typical tail withdrawal in rat induced immersing the end of the tail in warm water of 55 degrees Celsius. Adult albino rat are used for the test. They are placed in individual cage, leaving the tail hanging out freely, and the animals are allowed to adapt to the cage for 30 minutes. Before testing the lower 5 centimeter portion of the tail is marked. This part of the tail is immersed in the cup of freshly filled water of exactly 55 degrees Celsius. Within a few seconds, the rat react with the withdrawing the tail. The stopwatch recorded the reaction time, and the reaction time is determined before the periodically after either oral and subcutaneous administration of the test substances. The withdrawal time of more than 6 seconds is regarded as positive response. Next test is radiant heat method. There are many tests which will be seen into the next video. Thank you. Namaste. If you have any query, please comment.